What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? It's old Jerry Bowman hollering at y'all. Thought I'd holler up, do a little vlog here on some stuff I read up on Google News this morning. I was strolling through Google News there and come a little thing across the little thing there about disability, so I clicked onto it and was talking about this guy was telling his story how he'd become disabled and was fighting for his benefits and having all kind of problems, and a woman was telling her story. She was a nurse and she had got where she couldn't, perform her job, roll people over in a bed and do things, had back issues and was applying for hers and having all kinds of problems and stuff. And I could feel for him because I'm going through the same thing. I've been fighting for my disability benefits for 17 months now. But what I want to touch on to you and talk about was a comment that was made by Senator Rand Paul on this. As I strolled on down there reading the article, I come across some comment about he was making there on the bottom of the page there. And so he quoted here, there's nobody that gets out of bed in the morning that their back don't hurt or something don't ail them or they have some kind of pain somewhere or some anxiety or they don't want to go to work. Or he went on quoting and said that Social Security has basically become a welfare for people that are too lazy to work in the state of Kentucky. And I got to disagree with you, sir. All due respect, I loved my job and what I did. I loved to get out of bed every morning and go to work. I did not want to become disabled and have to go through what I'm going through, because unless you've experienced it like me and millions of other people, then you don't know what it's like to have to sell everything you got to make ends meet, plus having your whole life changed or took away from you. You have no idea the dark place it takes you and what these people go through emotionally, mentally, physically, and until you've been there, it's hard to explain it. And I didn't understand until it got laid at my doorstep, and I went to experiencing what these people are experiencing. And that's why I'm going to pray for you, Mr. Paul, that you think about what you said and ask God to forgive you, and that you will publicly make an apology to me and all these other people for making the comments you made about people that are, he basically said, anybody that's drawing disability or applying for disability, it's just lazy and don't want to work. And the funny thing about it is my disability come about uh, through a government deal, really, because I become disabled from a failed medical device by a medical product that was manufactured and marketed without in-house proper testing. And the FDA and Johnson & Johnson made a little under-the-table deal that said that we're going to market and produce this product and put it out, and if there's any problems, we will be responsible and pull it off the market and all this bullshit. Well, what I'm talking about is hernia mesh. If you have not seen a commercial about it or anything about the hernia mesh, then you've been on the moon or in a hole somewhere. But it's a fiberglass mesh that they use to repair hernias. And I started out with a little bitty old hole about the size of a quarter in my crotch area. And after 3 of these bad mesh surgeries, I have a hole the size of a lemon in my crotch now, and what they had to put in there was the synthetic mesh, which it has no backing or strength to it. So that's left me on a 10-pound lifting limit for the rest of my life. I cannot kneel, squat, bend over, lay down, crawl, hunt, fish. Anything I wanted to do or used to do in my life, I cannot do it no more because of this failed medical device that's left me disabled. I've lost 3 nerves in my right leg that's been completely severed and cut in 2. I have lost function in my right leg. I mean, the last thing I wanted to lose was my job, but I lost it and my livelihood and everything because of this. And to sit up and hear something from a state official that's also been a doctor to make remarks like this, it touches a nerve. And when I read it this morning, it pissed me off, and I took a time and relaxed and calmed down a little bit, because anger can cloud your judgment. And I took some time and I talked to God before I made this video. So, Mr. Paul, I'm reaching out to you and asking you to get on your knees and beg God for forgiveness for saying what you said, and come back on Google News or national TV and apologize for what you said, because you have no idea what these people are going through. They're sitting around depressed, thinking about suicide, blowing their heads off, losing everything they got. When your world's been flipped upside down, all it takes is a blink of an eye, and it can happen to you, sir, or anybody else. So to say that kind of stuff, you need to think about what it's like to walk in those people's shoes before you make those kind of remarks. You have no idea what that person's going through that you're talking about. Yes, there are people that abuse the system. They sure have. There's people that are drawing that never paid a dime in. But I paid 36 years of SSI in. I started bagging groceries in a little local town here that I live in when I was 13 years old in 1979. I didn't have a lawyer nowhere in sight when I paid my money in every time I got paid. But now I've got a lawyer up to get my money back. Is that fair? No, that's not fair. I'm begging for my own money. And I guess who's ever over this gets a kick out of knowing that, at least that somebody's going to get some of it. I'm not going to get it all. But the way that the Social Security Administration treats people, the way they talk to you on the phone, the letters that they send you in the mail, it's awful. I have kept up with every one of them. I'm going to show them all when the time comes right. And I'm going to tell about the mesh story when the time comes right. And if you've got mesh in you, or know anybody that does, any mesh that was made between 2004 and 2016, if you've had transvaginal, stomach hernia, or inguinal direct, hernia in your crotch area, if you've had any kind of mesh in you, report it, whether you're having problems or not. They want to know about this and where it's at. It's a serious problem going on in the world. The Social Security Administration has no idea of the people that are going to be applying for disability due to this medical mesh that the FDA allowed to be marketed. So it's not my fault that I'm disabled. So before you make slanderous marks at me and say I'm lazy and just don't want to work, you better think about what you're saying, because it's we the people that elect you officials. And to be treated this way, it's awful, the way that the people be treated that have to apply for disability. And like I said, they allow this product to be manufactured and marketed without proper in-house testing. In the old days, they used to test it in prisons on people on death row and stuff like that. Y'all know how I feel about them if you've seen any of my other videos. But somewhere down the line, some activist or somebody decided this wasn't right. We can't do this to these people. So what do? They just put it out here to the general public and let us become the guinea pigs. And there's millions of people out there just like me that's had their world run, their life took away from them, their livelihood, everything, due to a failed medical device, especially this mesh. So if you know anybody that's got it, tell them to get it out of them. Tell them to find out what kind it is. Don't rely on their doctor to do the right thing, because that's the reason they kept it off the market. Doctors not reporting failed medical devices. And that's another story I'm going to do. I'm going to do a full story on this mesh coming, I promise y'all. I'm going to try to tell you everything I know about it. If you got any questions, you can hit me back up. I'll try to help you all I can. But I just wanted to comment and hit up about what was said there by old Rand Paul this morning on Google News. It just struck a nerve for him to say those kind of things, by him being an elected official, a state representative, supposed to be a role model for people, somebody you look up to. And to say the things he said about people on disability and people drawing disability. He's making assumptions about us. So should we make assumptions about him? Should we assume that he's like every other politician that we see on the news every day or read about on the news every day about some kind of a sex scandal or taking money or inappropriating funds or grabbing somebody's ass in the office or sending inappropriate texts? I don't know if you've done this or not, but I, you're making assumptions about me and all the other people that's on disability or trying to draw disability. So I guess we can make assumptions ourselves. I hate to, because when you assume something, you make out an ass out of you and me both. Thank y'all, America. Y'all hit that like button, subscribe button, share this video with people. Help me get it out there to the other people that are going through what I'm going through. I got some buddies out there. I know y'all subscribers. I know that y'all been through hell getting yours. Got a buddy, got 40% of his heart working. Got a defibrillator, a pacemaker, both in him. Took him 2 years to get his. I've also run into people, never been, had a surgery, one done. 30 days, theirs approved and drawn a check. So I don't know. They give you this guideline to go by and all these rules and regulations. I've followed every one of them. I don't know what to do, but I know, Mr. Paul, like I said, all due respect, I'll be praying for you, sir, and I hope that you find a place in your heart to come back out and apologize for what you said about those people, about me, because till you walked a mile in our shoes, you have no idea what it's like. And I pray to God that the Lord don't never show you. Y'all hit that like, subscribe button. This is Bowman. Hang in there. Like I said, got a segment coming. Gonna be nothing about the mesh. I want to tell y'all all about it, what I've been through, and maybe y'all can reach out and reach somebody that's got this shit and they can get it out of it. Appreciate y'all.